exit strategy or need to sell now, we're here to help. Transworld Business of Lincoln. Call 402-413-5.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunity individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Problem gambling is not just a financial issue. It's an emotional problem with financial consequences. If you are a loved one who's struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply without even knowing. 6701 Corner Highway. Materials. They sell in bulk to save you money. You can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop having on Corner Highway from 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com or call 402-467-1627.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone again. With me on the line, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda Lincoln. Andy, I know how proud you and everyone at the dealership are to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award year after year, 17 times. Tell our listeners what it means to you and your customers.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, all of us are extremely proud to earn the award, and I want all customers to know it's not earned by one person's effort. It's the entire dealership. Sales, parts, amazing service.
17 times. Wow. How does that other Honda dealers?
This award is only given to the most elite dealerships that demonstrate excellence. We really strive to go above and beyond for the ultimate customer experience before and after the sale, Charlie.
That's why for 2021, Yankee Hill Road, at Lincoln.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by air conditioning, heating, electrical, and plumbing.
Mostly sunny skies anticipated for today. We'll have around 88 winds around 10. Increasing cloud cover tonight, low down to around 61. We will have a chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms for the first half of the day tomorrow, reaching up to a high of 88 once again. I'm meteorologist Tim and the Ticket FM.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL, Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Great culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more today at GainaTrucking.com.
This is On the Block with Stricken Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. You're going to go out of here. Middle school basketball legend, and basketball shooting coach in his mind. Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at ticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Stricken Austin.
That's right. Welcome on a Monday. Back here from 93.7 Studios. Heart of Lincoln, America. I'm Austin Norman. He is the 9-year vet, the Husker Hall of Famer. Repping the red, repping the end. Eric Strickland. Stricky, how was your weekend?
It was, I'm going to be honest, Saturday, I literally just cleaned, washed clothes. I sat in the house all day and just soaked up relaxation. Yeah, I mean, the weather was good. The wind was I did not leave the house. I literally just relaxed. I didn't do anything.
Nice.
And Sunday I got out a little bit, but boy, it was good. I almost thought about going downtown. I should have. Yeah. Nick gave me the call and said, "Gosh, I thought I was going to go on there Sunday and creep in the blur and have a few drinks and watch some games and play some cornhole," but it didn't work out.
Didn't work out and didn't miss much of Sunday's game. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. Just got done talking about it with the happy hour group. But we got our own stuff to get into. First of all, I want to thank Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, Charles and his crew down at 27th and Pine Lake for what they do. And we're going to let you know the way you can get in contact with us. Give us your thoughts on anything we're talking about. 402-464-5685. That's the Honda of Lincoln hotline, or the Starter Heyman text line. Again, give us your name. We like to give you credit for your thoughts, positive or negative. Make sure we get you shouted out on the radio. All right, to business, Strick. This came out a couple weeks ago, but we've been busy with CWS, with the NBA draft, all sorts of stuff. Haven't had a chance to talk about it, but Joe Manchin and Tommy Tuberville, yes, that Tommy Tuberville, former college football coach now in the Senate, United States Senate, have worked on some new name, image, and likeness legislation. Hasn't passed, still being workshopped, but they've got a draft out there. There are a few main points that in the next 10, 12 minutes I think we should hit on, because it's important. The first thing is NIL restrictions. What does that look like? Because I think that's what everyone's been asking. How do we control this? How do we tame it? How do we?
Yeah, we've been talking about that. We've been talking
since 2020 when it came out. No one's been able to in 3 years change since that's happened. So what are some of the restrictions? A lot of it comes down to reporting the deals, not letting it slide under the table. But this new legislation would give the athlete 30 days. From the day they enter their NIL deal, 30 days to report that to their school. What do they have to report? The amount they're compensated, and some other details along with it. And the other restrictions are what kind of contracts can be entered into. According to Sports Illustrated, athletes can enter into NIL contracts if it is in writing and signed by the athlete and the company or the party they're working with. If the contract outlines the scope and timeline of the work the athlete has to perform, if it states the amount or the type of compensation the athlete will receive, that has a duration, it has an end date in it, and four, it conforms with a standard contract type that the NCAA will be there. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, this just goes back to some of the conversations even prior to you being my illustrious partner here on the block. I mean, me and Bach have had discussions, as well as Nate. We really talked about in what way could the NCAA be empowered. I spoke of it from a standpoint of look like a Rottweiler, but having a Chihuahua bite. Like he's bunch of that's what it seemed like to me that was going on. I understood also that it needed to be some form of contractual agreement. It needed to be something that just wasn't so vague and just so open. It needed to be something to where there's an understanding of what the athlete is expected of the athlete, what their compensation numbers are. I thought that one of the things that I like about the potential proposal is when they talk about you have to be on campus for a period of time. So all of this giving guys these big, huge bags prior to it. Right now, you don't even see that in the NBA no more. You don't see that in the NFL no more. Guys have to either earn it by way of their play or something that they do, and there's scale. Like you pretty much know coming in what that scale is going to be. Is there a collective across the board scale that can be set? Some people thought that would be a hindrance on the negotiation process of the players, but what have you done? You haven't shown me anything. Yeah, you were a 4-star, but 4-star means nothing. 5-star means nothing. You show up on campus. There's more of those also, or there's others that could be 2-3 stars that just got overlooked, and I'll shine you. So what makes you negotiable to get a big bag up front? So I love some of those proposals. I think that makes sense.
You can still be a big fish, but you're in a bigger pond. Yeah. You're moving from a pond to a lake, if not an ocean in a lot of cases. Where it's going to go next with have to be on for at least a semester to sign a deal. And I think I like phrasing it because even if it won't fully eliminate pay for play or anything that looks like that, The way this is worded makes me think too that they can't actually sign the contract until after first semester or second quarter in some cases, like UCLA, for example, would have ended. It's not like you can sign it and then it doesn't kick in first semester. You can't actually sign it until you've been there for a semester. I like that safeguard.
Yeah, I do too, and I think it allows you, as a university, as a program, to put your eyes on them. You know what I mean? Like you can put your eyes on them, and then the collectives can get involved, at an earlier state. But it allows the community business leaders and owners or whatever, to be able to put their eyes on it. Maybe get out there and have some prospects, evaluations, and say, hey, do I want to attach my brand to this specific person? It gives you a chance to check their character, sit down and really have some in-depth, watch how they progress in school. Are they, disciplined? You get a chance to kind of put your eyes on things like that. And I like that. And I just really think that it puts all people on notice. It allows even the athlete to be able to be on their best and put in some work. And talking about obviously there's going to be some fall time, and then you to see a little bit. Earning probably workouts for basketball is going to be a little bit different, but still I think you still get a chance to do that.
The other part of the restrictions or reporting that I think is important is the types of deals that can be entered into and who you're being affiliated with. There's a whole list of them, but I think the biggest one, especially recently, strict, has been the casino gambling, sports book type of world. Athletes aren't allowed to enter into contracts with those, which I think is good. I think that's a necessary step. But here's the important part, strict. If the athlete can't enter into an endorsement with a sports book, neither can the schools.
Right.
That's what Sports Illustrated is saying. Schools cannot enter into a contract with any of those entities if the school has prohibited an athlete from an NIL deal with such outcome. I think that's really smart.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you want to just have those type of affiliations. I would say more than anything, the health and the wellness of the player is an important part. I like that. There's going to be some applications on trying to make sure that they deal with that, some form of a trust that is going to be set up. I think those are good. I like the direction. Let me just say, I'm not going to say that it's a win all, but you can understand Tuberville get involved in this, being that he's a sports guy, so it's kind of right in his lane to be able to have the right discussions with the right type of people, to be able to come up with a good baseline, and I think leave room for things to be added and amended and adjusted. And so I love just that this is a good draft to start off.
You mentioned the health and wellness and the trust being created. I think that's huge. It gives athletes 8 years after their eligibility expires or until they turn 28 to apply for medical assistance. And that money will come from the big money earners in the college football playoff and the NCAA tournament. So I think that works out really well. The recruiting aspect of this is interesting. Obviously, you can't induce players. There can't be pay for play. But this draft does say that collectives would be able to promote their program, assist in recruiting, and assist in providing benefits to recruits or athletes, but only if it is formally associated with an insinuation through an official contract. Then there's the part where it says collectives must also provide equal opportunities to all athletes in all programs. But I like that we're getting the collectives in writing saying we're associated with this school.
I like that they have to have an agreement, or they must basically who they are. Like if they're attached, it's kind of like being an agent. An agent has to have gone through a process, been vetted, and then go, you have to have registration through the different leagues. So I think that's kind of similar of what they're trying to go for, is just make sure that there's just not somebody out there dropping bundles and bags off on the sidebars, and it just gives a little bit of accountability.
Right. Speaking of accountability, who's in charge of all this? The NCAA.
Yeah.
Better than Congress being over it, or the FBI in the investigation that we've seen before. So I think that makes sense. But my goodness, NCAA, you've had this long to do this. You haven't done anything about it. Now you want to be put in charge of it. I think it's the necessary move to put the NCAA in charge, but I can't say I'm fully confident that it'll go well.
Yeah, like I said, my thing about the NCAA is, how are they holding people accountable? Like, are they going to hold state? Okay, well, they're not Kansas doing some of the same stuff. Like, who's watching that part? Are they going to hold USC accountable? But I mean, hold Washington State accountable, or Oregon State and not USC? Are they going to hold New Mexico State accountable and not his own? You know what I mean? I'm just giving this an example.
Yeah.
Those are some of the things that I worry about, because I've seen that happen in the past. I've seen them come down hard on baseball teams and programs that have their little traditions, but they didn't come down on the Ole Misses or the Floridas or any of those that have their little traditions, right? Or they've thrown heavy penalties on other teams and organizations, and you're like, no, because so that's the part that scares me a little bit. I think that Congress needs to be the super accountability partner that has some form of an oversight in the process.
That's fair. A couple things from the text line before we hit our first break of the show. Anonymous texter says, making money is a business. This makes it a business. Players want to get paid, then it needs to be in a business format. Helps prepare them for their future. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why the contract is important. It's why I think that it's important that we have time for these athletes to get settled in college, not rush into anything, not get taken advantage of. And then from the business partner side of it, where the money's actually coming from, to, like you were saying, Strick, know who the athlete is, what they're about, see what their work ethic is like their first semester on campus, and see if that really is someone you want to enter into a deal with, instead of being pressured by North Stadium, by football, by basketball, whoever, to say, hey, we need you to pony up to get this player here because we think he's going to be really good.
And I think the NCAA, if they're a true governing body, they need to make sure that money that they're getting on a regular basis with these good budgets that they have, they need to apply some financial skills and about acquisition literacy, about the acquisitions of attorneys, and what do the attorneys do in these specific situations. How can you then start your own trust in LLCs, and just really teach them the business instead of leaving them exposed to people to come in and begin to siphon off and take away. And because the crazy things about this is it can be parents too. Don't get it twisted. Because if parents haven't had that, you at least want to be in a position to break the cycle, because the cycle can also be in the households. It can be you're the first one that broke out. That's going to be getting first in education and then an athlete, but now you're getting serious dollars. How do you protect that? Watch that. How do you then set aside? Maybe there could be things to do to make sure they're setting aside a certain portion, putting it into certain places so that it's there for them thereafter. And if they get taken or somebody tries to do that, they still don't have that. I think that's one of the best things that happened with Allen Iverson.
Sure.
With the Reebok situation, that they, something like that to help them as well, but also to teach them so that they can be observant and watching and knowing where their stuff is and where it's going.
Huskers P, last thing before we get to break, says, so you want to steal a semester of earnings away from recruits? That's problematic. You want to fire back at that first? You want me to?
Go, man.
No, it's not stealing. It's making sure the student athlete is prepared, in not just the business sense. They have their feet under them. It's making sure the business knows who they're going to make a deal with. So much of this is about timing, right? And if
they obviously don't own a business either. Go ahead.
Right. So much of this is about timing. If you don't want pay for play, this waiting a semester is the best way to make sure there's as little of that as possible.
Tampering,
exactly. You want to make sure the athletes are making the right deals for them. You want to make sure the businesses are making the right deals for them. You wait a semester. If one semester's worth of money is make or break, you're entering into NIL
The
for
wrong reason. Yeah, the wrong reason. Absolutely. Because it's not like your season's over. No. You can within that same year. Okay, if you had a business, I've not only worked in businesses, but I've also like been a part of them to where I've had to hire people and so forth and so on. Listen, there's been probationary periods that people come in and they don't get full benefits until after 90 days. That's in regular business. Every business you go into is not like, yes, there are some negotiated, but it comes with something you've done prior to. You're just not going to walk up to a Fortune 500 company and hadn't gone through Wharton or, Yale or Harvard, where you know someone's had their eye on you, where they can say, yeah, you might want to come get this one. You know what I'm saying? There's still a vetting period. You don't just show up and walk into the door and you're just like, yeah, salary 155, 200. No, there's periods of being able to assess whether or not you are the right link. So I don't know, man. No, we're not trying to take away. We're just trying to figure out how to make it better.
Yeah, we'll take a break here. Maybe we'll discuss more of this. We got to put get to which NFL offenses are quarterback proof. We'll talk some Husker football recruiting with Brian Munson in hour number 2. And what are the best games you've attended that you've participated in person? What's your thoughts on that as we get into hour 2 of 402-464-5685 numbers to get in. We're on the Blockies, Eric Strickland, my boss Norman. More of the show next.
Meet the heat to make 4th of July truly monumental at Generation B.
Generation B.
This weekend only, Generation B has incredible deals that'll blow you away. Stock up on select disposables as low as $10 and enjoy 25% off all pet products.
Generation B.
July 1st through 4th, experience monumental savings of 33% off mods, e-liquid, Delta 8, and more. Generation B, with 16 Nebraska locations and a new location at 27th and Superior. GenerationB.com.
Sunday morning. It's quiet. Not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. With a hearty chunk of maybe you're an apple rumble. I'm a turtle nut man. The real bread. Sweet, but not the perfect morning treat on bakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing. At 6701 Cornerstone Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornerstone Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, 467-1627.
The wait is almost over. The Guardians of Freedom Air Show is the hottest event in the area. Coming to Lincoln's Air Park on Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th. Elevate your air show experience with tickets to the premium seating tent, padded seats, meals, and more for just $125. Premium tickets are going fast, so buy yours today. To purchase premium tickets and for more information, visit LincolnAirShow.com. We'll see you at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show in late August.
Want to sell your business? You need someone to confidentially find the right buyer. Whether you're planning a future exit strategy or you need to sell now, we're here to help. Transworld Business Advisors of Lincoln. Call 402-413-1095.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you, your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at
Care at 70 vehicle service. With service bumper to bumper, will treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Does better than that. So call 402 488 8985, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402 488 8934. HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Doren. God bless you.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collector's items. You're ready for football season. You are excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless dollars in damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
Summertime is in full swing, and it's time to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams. From treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings. Advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway. Deck City, your local deck experts.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler systems for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-2277 or judsonirrigation.com.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Mostly sunny skies anticipated for today with an afternoon high of around 88. Northeast winds at around 10. Increasing cloud cover tonight, a low down to around 61. We will have a chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms for the first half of the day tomorrow, reaching up to a high of 88 once again. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're rolling on here on the block. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland with you. A funny follow-up from the NIL discussion. Unnamed texter says, all those Dakotas Crawford catches are doing well for the AC company in Omaha.
Facts. That's basically what I'm saying. So yeah, just dump the money bag, but forget the business. Like, that's not how business works. You know, when we enter into agreement to do business, first of all, your hope is the investment that I'm making into you would in some form give a return on investment. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Yes, the nameplay, all of that was good. You know what I mean? Yes, that's great. But him leaving, there's no contract. You know, okay, maybe we've came to a gentleman's agreement that we're going to pay you by year or we're going to pay you by season or whatever the case may be. That could be a gentleman's contract. We don't know. We don't know if they said they're going to pay him for 2 years and gave him an upfront of, $75,000 or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We, with the thought that you're going to be here. I know that Oklahoma, in the deal that they did with what's the quarterback down at South Carolina? Rattler. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he ends up with 2 cars and two cars mm-hmm. and money and didn't even play it down. Well, I mean, he played it down, but he lost his job.
Yeah. In game 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he loses his job. He played, but he, so you invested a lot mm-hmm. into that situation, and mm-hmm. now he's gone too. On top of the fact that you didn't get a return on investment, because Caleb Williams was really the one probably you wanted.
Mm-hmm. To further illustrate that point about why it's important to wait a semester, do you think the AC company enters into the deal with Dakotas Crawford in December? No, I don't think they do. or at least if they still do,
smaller.
The smaller. And here's how the conversation goes, Strick. It's, okay, you didn't play this year.
Yeah.
Are you going to stick it out?
Yeah.
Are you going to be here next year? Are you still happy at Nebraska?
If you don't, there should be something written. This is why I'm looking at the contract. There should be something written that, okay, if you play, this is the situation. If you don't, we're holding back a certain amount and we'll pay you a certain amount. That can be negotiated at least, as opposed to, you just drop the whole bag and then you don't get anything out of it. I just don't think that's right. I don't think that's good business either.
No, it's terrible for the company, because entering into this before he even played it down at Nebraska, before he really even practiced, their return on investment is 100% negative. They didn't get anything back, I bet.
No.
Maybe they were prescient enough to write it into the contract. But the point is that giving everyone more time to think about what they really want then is good. I'm sure DeColdis Crawford wanted to be at Nebraska. Well, then he didn't play. Then his mind changes.
And then Mickey leaves, and
right,
because that's the guy that there's other outside factors, but yeah.
And the other thing about this is someone is saying, if you think NIL isn't already pay for play, you're mistaken. That's not what we're saying. We're saying is, if you push this back a semester, it either looks less like pay for play or it diminishes the problem. Plain and simple, it does. Because yes, I get it. That's how NIL works. That's how it's been. Is you give them the money up front, you promise them the money up front, and if you don't give it to them, to get them there. If you say you can't negotiate until you've had a semester on campus, it can be in the back of their mind. But again, either they're going to stick it out because they're willing to be there and you get more time, more development time with the player, and that's good, or they leave and the business doesn't waste the money on a player that doesn't want to be there.
Can I ask you, do you think that if what they've talked about in the Jordan Addison deal in USC, do you think there's a return on that investment?
At least some, yeah.
Some, but it wasn't to the level of what it was at Pittsburgh.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
I don't even know if he was the best receiver. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's debatable.
He was good, but he didn't take a step up.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Like if the rumors are true from some of the stuff that we've heard about what they did in that deal, I'd have to question if I made the right deal. But then on top of that, I did it because I was still, I can more appreciate that deal because they did it after he proved himself, showed and proved. At least I can say, well, dang, you know what? He's a Plitnikov winner, top receiver in the country. Okay, I can see myself doing it. I can at least say he put in some work as opposed to not even playing a freaking down, not even knowing. Could you imagine if they did a deal like this is no knock on Fedoni, but just think about if somebody did a huge deal with Fedoni and look, there's no knock on him. It's injury. I'm not, this is why I like the trust. This is why I like some of the things that's going on in here. But at the same time, he hasn't even seen the field in 3 years?
Yeah, since high school.
Yeah. So those just some things to think about.
And you're less likely to make a deal with an injured player.
Yeah.
This isn't to say players shouldn't get their money. They should, but we want them to get the money that's right for them, that they've earned, not just that they're given, right? There are different pathways to do this. And this one texter is also saying, well, they paid DeColdis for advertising. So if you ask the HVAC company how much it helped them last summer, I'm sure they made some money. Sure, maybe there was a short-term boost, but what do you think would be better for this company, Strick? 1 summer of DeColdis Crawford or 4 summers of DeColdis Crawford?
I mean, you would say 4 if you knew DeColdis Crawford was on the field performing. I'm saying 4. If not, I'm okay with the short term of that deal, and we can go on and move on after that. If we use your commercials, then we'll pay you by commercial usage. We're not going to pay you by, you know what I'm saying, a full bag. I mean, we pay you by the times that we use your image or your likeness in the future. And that can be a negotiated deal. What is that going to be? Those are all things that can be negotiated, but at the same time, not giving you a big upfront bag. You're not around.
No, there's always risk. We understand that. The purpose of waiting a semester is to mitigate risk for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plain and simple. Travis says he thinks you should get the NIL at the start of the next season. If the player transfers, they don't get the money. I don't know how that would work being written into a contract. That's a little
that's
sketchy.
a little tough. Yeah. I mean, look, yeah. Husker P. I mean, I can fight for you at some point, but at some point you've got a brick wall. You know what I mean? Like some of your takes, I can fight for you. Yeah, everything is a risk. Yeah. Also, some people nullified that risk and canceled deals, and not everybody's sticking with Ja. Yeah, there's some. Yes, but at the same time, Ja didn't get these deals up front.
They waited a year or two.
They saw the man play, all NBA play. I mean, come on, bro. It's like I can fight for you, bro, but your premise is off. You know what I mean? He didn't walk in. Now I can say if you would have said not Ja, you would have said maybe Zion. But even still, Zion showed and proved. He was one of the best players coming out of college at the number one draft pick. That's a whole different deal. I'd say you probably still at the end of the day got a better deal with Ja than you did even with Zion right now.
Zion has a signature Jordan shoe. You think Jordan likes that decision right now?
Yeah.
Not so much. Last thing before we take another break here. Phil says advertising and straight up money are two completely different scenarios. Are they though? Because from the player perspective, if you are, taking part in an advertisement, that's how you make money. That's the money there. And if you're the company, the money that you're paying this player is part of your advertising budget.
Mm-hmm.
So not really. They're not really different things.
Right. No, you're right.
This is fun. We'll keep having these discussions as this legislation moves further along. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more of hour one of On the Block next.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, so to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut the line. Out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Hello, Talking Deer here. I want to take this time to thank the Nebraska Lottery. Since 1993, Nebraska Lottery proceeds, over $900 million, have gone to its beneficiaries, including the environment. And since I'm out here in the field every day, I see it firsthand, or first hoof, I guess.
Who are you talking to, dear?
Oh, I was just thanking the Nebraska Lottery and all the people who play for supporting the Nebraska environment.
That's nice, dear.
The Nebraska Lottery. 30 years of building a better Nebraska.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in June. Try pesto cream cheese on any breakfast sandwich. And try the Karma Latte, as 10% of proceeds from that drink will go to the Teammates Mentoring Program. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Motor Food is Lincoln's hardest rocking food truck and cafe. Motor Food creates old school comfort food with a 21st century twist and lots of rock and roll attitude. Try the barbecue pulled pork, mac and cheese, chicken Firebird sandwich, a all beef split grilled hot dog, and any version of their funky fries. Stop by the cafe just behind Outback Steakhouse on 48th Street, or catch the food truck out and about all spring and summer. Check out their menu, order carryout, or schedule catering at motorfoodtruck.com.
Summertime is in full swing, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment. 402-480-6671. Online at deckcityne.com. or visit the just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway. Deck City, your local deck experts.
Vershawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding area. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, we've got it all. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Are you ready to upgrade your combine? Don't wait. Act now to choose from the widest selection of used combines at Acres Equipment. Acres, the nation's largest John Deere combine dealer, is offering 2.9% interest for 60 months on over 100 pre-owned combines. Go to acres.com to view a huge inventory of low-hour, late-model John Deere combines. Find what you like, and we'll deliver it to your farm for free. Acres, solutions for every field.
When you were a kid, robotics club or space club and stuff like that, but what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margaritas like Maui Wowie, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over. Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and our big summer sales event is underway this month. Right now, get 0.9% interest rates. Yes, you heard right. 0.9% APR on select new Chevrolet and GMC vehicles, plus a $1,500 trade-in bonus on select Silverados and Sierras. You put all that together with some big Coppell discounts, and you have a tremendous buying experience. So stop on into the dealership or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Guys, it's that time again. Another 10-week challenge at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is starting on July 8th. I joined Farrell's a little over a year ago, and with their help, I've lost over 125 pounds and can confidently say I'm in the best shape of my life. The 10-week challenge combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching in a way that is approachable and achievable for any skill level. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off the cost of enrollment. Head to theticketfm.com and click on the banner on the homepage to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 70th and Vine or 40th and Yankee Hill.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay. Playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Left here in hour number one of On the Block. Didn't get to a couple topics. We'll keep those on the back burner. Going back and forth with the text line. It's up to the business to protect themselves and the athletes to get paid. Yes, but also the other way too. You know, the athlete needs to make sure the people they're doing business with are good, that their word is solid, that they will get paid. They have to protect themselves, and it's on the business to also get paid. That's why businesses enter NIL. It's a short-term payment for a long-term gain. That's what return on investment means. What do you invest and what comes back to you? Hopefully, 4 or 5 times as much. It's on both sides to get paid. It's on both sides to protect themselves.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's a one-sided issue. So that's the only way I'm going to address that. But the next one, The next one is NIL is pay for play. Of course, because it is name, image, and likeness. If I step out on the court, my jersey, if it's in your store, or if you want to use it, or you want to use my name, and I want to be affiliated and doing business with you, then we come to a contractual agreement as to how that's going to work.
I think there are two different aspects of this. When we think of pay for play, what that means is we pay so that you play for us.
Right.
So it's pay so you play for us.
Right.
Whereas that's like the inducement part of NIL. What name, image, likeness should be, what I think these rules are pushing us towards, is get paid because you play. The second part of that, are science majors getting NIL? No. Are science majors playing a sport in front of 90,000 people? Like DP said, you selling tickets to science fair?
Did you build a rocket that is Elon Musk type, where you're being licensed to be the guy for Lockheed Martin? I can understand. Get paid.
Please.
But that ain't the case. I mean, until it is the case, or you develop a patent or something to where you're going to shine on something I'm going to endorse, then yeah, if you made something for my company, then I'd have to pay you.
Right. It's the way it's moving is pay because you do something. Yeah. This is where the value is. This is where a business thinks that they can pay a little bit, relatively speaking, to get a lot back.
Yeah.
That's there in athletics. It's not there in science bowl.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I mean, look, like I said, I would fight tooth and nail for Husker P if the premises were a little bit not so super extreme, but I can't fight that premise is off for me as far as the science along with the the pay for play. No, I mean, I'm look, if I don't play, then should I get paid? That's what
because
that's just a great question. If I don't play, should I get paid?
Phil the Burn on the text line says that's not NIL. Dakotas Crawford was literally paid for his name, image, and likeness. Jordan Addison was literally paid for past production, which is pay for play. There's a little bit of a difference, but Dakotas Crawford wasn't paid for his name just because it's his name. He was paid for his name because he was a Husker football player.
And it fit.
Yes.
It fit that mold, so it made sense. Yes. There was an alignment. I guarantee you, if Dakotas Crawford didn't have that name, he's not with an AC HVAC company. No.
And if he's not a Husker athlete, even with that name, he's not with an HVAC company.
Like for example, like I could actually see if Christian Peter and Jason Peter were back on campus and there was NIL, guess who would be the first company showing up? Peterbilt. Now that they do business, that makes sense. One, he's a Husker. They're Husker players. Maybe they can probably get a deal because it makes sense. It's mutually exclusive. You're a Husker player. You have the name of trucks, and you're in the trenches. That all makes sense. But just if Dakotas Crawford is not Dakotas, he's not getting an NIL deal. Sorry.
No.
It just doesn't work.
It just doesn't. We're going to switch gears from NIL to the best games you've ever attended. We've had some classics in the CWS. Nick was saying 8 out of the 15 have been decided by one run or 3 or fewer runs. I forget the exact stat, but it's been a fantastic CWS. Strick, I've been lucky enough as a fan to go to a lot of cool games. I'm sure you've been to some. I'm sure you've played in some.
Yeah, I played in one I got on the mark.
It's story time. We're going to go back through the archives. So text in, let us know the favorite games you've ever attended in person, not just watched on TV. What have you been in the stadium for, in the arena for? What's the favorite games that you've attended in person? 402-464-5685. Drop your thoughts, and we'll give away some Lincoln Salt Dogs tickets in hour number 2. You won't want to miss that as we continue here on the block.
Beat the heat and make 4th of July truly monumental at Generation V.
Generation V.
This weekend only, Generation V has incredible deals that'll blow you away. Stock up on select disposables as low as $10 and enjoy 25% off all pet products. July 1st, it gets monumental savings up to 33% off mods, e-liquid, Delta 8, and more. Generation V with 16 Nebraska Superior. GenerationV.com. Vapes contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Are you working in or looking to get into the construction industry? The electrical workers of Local 105 are now hiring licensed and apprentices, pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Save money on energy-efficient equipment with the LES Sustainable Energy Program. Nearly half of the financial incentives are still available for qualifying projects. View incentives and learn more at les.com/SEP.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and our big summer sales event is underway this month. Right now, get 0.9% interest rates. Yes, you heard right. 0.9% APR on select new Chevrolet and GMC vehicles, plus a $1,500 trade-in bonus on select Silverados and Sierras. You put all that together with some big Coppell discounts, and you have a tremendous buying experience. So stop on into the dealership or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness. And now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is Nebraska's premier NIL company. And with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Picture a hot summer day, sun blazing in the fields as far as the eye can see. Now imagine you're a teenager making bank, all while enjoying the great outdoors. Welcome to Nats Detasseling Inc., where they're not afraid to sweat. This summer, join the Nats team for an unforgettable experience. Forge friendships, learn responsibility, and earn money. Visit notafraidtosweat.com now. Nats Detasseling, where hard work meets good times.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for Fireworks Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, Sunday Family Fun Days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this summer. Check out their new Keen and Tiva brand sandals for hiking and Olukai sandals for sitting by the pool. Plus, they're stocked up on Hey Dupes to catch you up on the latest shoe fashion. They also have shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Atrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66 and Q in Lincoln.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. And you're going to go out of here at the
middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, on air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On Lock with Strick and Austin.
That's right. We are back. We are ready to go. Hour number 2 of the show. Going to be a fun one. We'll talk some Husker football recruiting with Brian Munson. Got some breaking news on that front. Kawan Lacey, class of 24 running back, commits to Nebraska. We'll ask Brian about him. And a huge weekend for Nebraska football recruiting coming up next segment. But we have a fun topic to jump into here. The best games you've ever attended in person. Not just the ones you watched on TV. That's too easy. We've all seen plenty of great games there. What are the ones that you remember you were lucky enough to be in the stadium for? Whether it's an actual all-timer, an all-timer just for you, let us know on the Sartor Heyman text line 402-464-5685. And heck, maybe Wednesday through Sunday, we can chat about it over Play to Mary Ellen's.
I actually have a couple that I was in the building for. One.
Okay, for you, we have to clarify. Sitting or participating in?
One sitting, one participating.
Okay.
The participating one was in 2001 in the conference finals against the New Jersey Nets. We lost in 6 games in that series, but one of those games, I can't remember if it was 4 or 5. I know we were in Boston though. So I think they had, so it had to be maybe 3 or 4. Okay. We're in Boston and we're down 26 and we have the greatest comeback in playoff history at that time, which is 26 points down. And we came back, I think, in the second half. Paul Pierce just absolutely goes nuts. It was a pleasure to watch that Paul just go into his own, and there was nothing that New Jersey could do about it. So that was in building. That was me participating in building. I would say it was the Chael Sonnen, John Bones Jones fight that I think it was the rematch. So the first one, Chael had been talking a lot of trash, been running, because he really it was debatable as to whether or not he won that fight. Like you could actually say that. But then John just absolutely destroys him in the second fight. So I happened to be in that building and to watch just the anticipation and the hype and the fire of that in a championship fight was pretty dope.
What's it like being in the arena for a fight like that? Seeing a champion in John Bones Jones turn it on in that fight?
Man, well, it was pretty cool because not only I was at the weigh-in, I had pretty good access during that time. I had a good friend. He was an attorney that we go way back to Vandenberg days, like when we used to be kids back when we were both at Vandenberg Air Force Base together. And he had a good friend that was pretty high up in Mandalay Bay. So those fights was at Mandalay Bay at that time. So we had like dang near good access. Plus Zions was a representative. So a lot of the stuff that Zions was doing at that time was an energy drink we got to be a part of. So we were all in the back rooms meeting some of the top fighters of the time. I'm trying to think. Cain Velasquez was on the rise then. Pettis was on the rise. A lot of guys that were heading towards the top at that time. It was great. So just to have that access and the atmosphere was just electric, bro. It's just nothing like a UFC fight, top-notch fights. The electric atmosphere.
On the flip side of that, what was it like watching Paul work? Dead arena, down 20-some points, bucket by bucket. What's that climb like? Can you feel the energy build?
Let me give you an example. We used to have a song that would play. so you can understand what I'm saying. It's like there's really no way that I can describe that atmosphere, but there was a song that can tell you what it was like. Prior to every game, what had established that year was just a hard-nosed bunch of guys, and they kind of saw it, and the atmosphere was just raucous in there. And so they would always play Guns N' Roses. Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and game. And the lights would be going crazy before the game. And man, it was nothing like getting hyped when, that song starts playing, because it was like, the green and, we just felt like a pack that if you came in the jungle, you might not come out. That's kind of how it was. So that was the energy was like that. It was like just hovering, and it was just overwhelming, man. It was beautiful to watch it kind of take heights and go to new levels.
That's awesome. Anything stand out from college?
I mean, obviously it was winning the Big 8 tournament, which is still the only one that we've ever had as a team. And then it was I'm gonna say I can really talk about ones that I've watched, and I'll get into those. Like for example, the Nebraska 1984 game against Miami. Watching that on TV, I mean, those are some of the things that begin to spurn my eye towards Nebraska, because at that time I'm still living in California, but yet I saw the game, right? So when they said Nebraska, I'm hearing about this, seeing this, so I got a little understanding that there's this big college there that everybody's kind of hyped up. They got a great football team, but I don't really know nothing else outside of that. Watching that game and watching the decision that Tom Osborne had to make and how it came down. I mean, obviously they were 11-point favorite for that game, and going in, Miami was tough, but no one thought that Miami was going to be able to beat the Huskers in that game, and to watch the decision being made and just come up short. It's like one of those ones, do you continue to play it out? He wanted to go for the win, and it was a decision that probably I wouldn't say it was a similar decision that Frost made when he says against Northwestern, let me go and kick this onside kick at this time when we're up like 12 points or something like that. Like, what? So yeah, it wasn't that crazy of a decision. I think it was a good one. If you want to go and try to win it, you go and try to win it. That was a good one for me. Another one was the Tiger Woods when he first won his first major, and he broke the Masters record by 12 strokes, and that kind of led off the Tiger era.
First major
watching
win.
watching that dominance for a young kid. He's the youngest ever to do it. I think at 20. That was amazing. Like, you're like, man, that kind of really gave me an interest to golf. Like, I would go out and play, but it was just kind of like, but I really like, man, I want to do this. I mean, he made me kind of get into golf a little bit more. Like, I would never see myself sitting around watching freaking 5 hours of golf, but I found myself doing it many times. I think that was one. And then I'll give one more that was interesting to me. It's probably the dumbest. And if you guys, either agree with me with a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the on the text line 402-464-5685. Listen, it was the dumbest call that kind of made me have a little bit of conspiracy theory to the NFL a little bit. It was the Russell Wilson interception in the Super Bowl against the Patriots at the freaking 1 yard line. And you have Marshawn the Beast Lynch, and you do not give him the ball on that, and you throw it, and it's an interception, and you freaking lose the Super Bowl. I think that one for me was one of the ones where I'm just like, I'm pulling out hair that I didn't have. Like, I grabbed every inch of my follicles and began to pull. I'm like, are you freaking idiotic that you threw the ball here? Yeah, that was dumb.
Incredible. Text line is filled up. Keep it coming in. The best games you've ever attended in person. We'll go chronologically from the bottom up. We've had a couple strict for the Nebraska-Oklahoma game in 2001. Nebraska ends up beating Oklahoma, famous, of course, for the stunts to crouch pass. A lot of people in the stands for that one. I was too young. I don't remember that happening, but of course, see the video on YouTube.
I think the kick too by Matt Davidson to beat Missouri was a big one. That was dope to watch because no one thought we were going to win that game.
Someone's saying even though it was a loss, Nebraska versus Michigan 2021, Nebraska has a chance to go down and win the game. Michigan gets the game-winning field goal. Nebraska gets one more chance. I'm bummed I had to watch that one on TV. Seemed like an absolutely electric environment. The comeback against Ohio State, school record comeback at Memorial Stadium. Rex Burkhead puts the team on his back offensively in the second half. Of course, Levante David with the ankle-turning fumble on Braxton Miller. Another one this person was in the building for was Norfolk State upsetting 2-seed Missouri up in Omaha. I always forget that game happened in Omaha.
Dang, that is right. It was right here in Omaha.
Mm-hmm.
Norfolk State out of the MEAC.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. Wow. That's a good one.
Someone was in the building for the BYU Hail Mary in Mike Riley's first game at Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Tanner Mangum.
Mm-hmm.
Hail Mary to beat Nebraska. No Sit Sunday. Nebraska was this person was in the building for the Miami game. I was at homecoming for the Nebraska-Miami game. I wanted to skip homecoming just to stay home and watch that Nebraska-Miami game in Lincoln.
Yeah.
Parents said, nope, go be social, learn social skills, which was probably for the best. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But I did spend a fair chunk of my time watching the game at homecoming.
Was anybody in the building when Dick Vitale was in the building when I think we played the number 3 Kansas Jayhawks in Devaney and we upset them? Was anybody in the building when Dickie V was going crazy? This is a big one, baby. This is a PT Pierce, baby.
Look at the type of dandies.
That was amazing. Yeah, that was a good one.
That's incredible. A little older couple of submissions here. The 1978 Oklahoma-Nebraska football game and the Halloween night game, Colorado in 1992.
Yeah.
That game sounds legendary.
Yeah. I think I was in the building for that one.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was on campus for that one. Yeah, I think that was what? No, that wasn't Bieniemy. Was that Bieniemy them?
I think it would have been.
Darren Hagan and Bieniemy and gosh, what was the guy that ended up going to Carolina? Ray Caruth and all them, Westbrook. I think that might have been that crew. But anyway.
So that one ends up 52-7 in favor of Nebraska. Colorado's only points come on a James Hill 3-yard run in the second quarter. Domination. Nebraska rushes 78 times for 373 yards. Holds Colorado to.
Oh, that was Hill. Yeah, he was
8 yards.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That sounds like fun. Let's do that again. Photographic evidence streak of someone at the most recent Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
that was a good one.
The Broncos. Which one?
The Chiefs-Eagles one.
Oh, the Chiefs-Eagles. Somebody was there?
Yeah. Texter 2366 sent us a selfie. You can see the confetti in there. The players in the background. I
so
guess.
Dope, bro.
Yeah. Those look like good seats. Too.
Shout out
awesome.
to you. Those look like amazing seats. Absolutely. Shout out to unnamed Texter 2366. Thanks for sharing that. We appreciate it. What a wonderful time. And I know it was in Vegas, so it was just off the chain.
Vegas is this year's Super Bowl.
Is it this year?
This coming Super Bowl. 24 will be in Vegas. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Where was this at? Oh, this was in Tampa. Was it in Tampa? Where was it at? Where was that Super Bowl?
Super Bowl, Glendale.
It was in Cali, up in New York. Up in
Phoenix.
Oh, in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Okay, but look, Vegas is going to be off the chain.
Oh boy, will it ever?
That's going to be off the chain. Like, ooh. I would just maybe even want to go to be in the atmosphere.
Oh, not even in the game, just outside, see the festivities. Yeah. This is one that I think is absolutely fascinating. Ben says he was at the 2010 Bears versus Vikings game. Doesn't seem like a big deal, but that was the week after the Metrodome collapsed. So they're playing outside in Minneapolis. Brett Favre's last game and Devin Hester setting a punt return record. That's a really good one,
That is
Ben.
a good one. That is a good one.
Someone says Kansas State at Nebraska 1991, front row, center of north end zone. Could you even see anything? Were you blocked by the goalpost?
No. Like if you're in the end zone, that was cool. But back then we used to be able to sit under. Like a lot of the athletes were under the stadium and we could still see everything.
Really?
Yeah. It was like underneath. They had these little bleachers that was kind of underneath and we could kind of look out. It was pretty dope. It was a great place to be.
Athlete only? Was that under there? Or how did you get in there?
I mean, as you're walking down, but the athlete. It was mostly for the athletes that were in that sector, though. Yeah, it was mostly for us.
Gotcha. Someone else is saying the most recent Michigan game that Nebraska ended up losing by a field goal, but one that I was at that probably takes the cake for me, Michigan State 2015. That's the game. Michigan State ended up going to the college football playoff later. Brandon Riley gets forced out of bounds, supposedly, comes back in, catches the touchdown pass to win the game in the northwest corner. I remember that, Strick, because I was sitting there. I had a perfect diagonal view. I was sitting up in that corner. I was there with some buddies from high school.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Well, the Florida State Nebraska game was a travesty as far as if you want to talk about conspiracies. It was like they were trying to give Bobby Bowden a championship that
in '93.
It was the most egregious of phantom calls and missed calls and fake fumbles or fumbles that it was just crazy. And you end up losing by 3 points, and it's a wide ride. That was a devastating one. That was a devastating one, I must say.
Axel Foley said the Texas Redout in 2004. And Bud Crawford at PBA.
Yeah,
that'd be electric.
Yeah, great. I'm sure, no doubt.
One of the greatest ones I got to see on TV, I wasn't in the stadium for, Alex Henry's 50-yard field goal or 57-yarder to beat Colorado. Wow. That's a really good one. Brad, were you at the Stanley Cup final a couple weeks ago? Were you there, Brad? Let us know, because that's awesome.
That is dope. Because I would have loved to have seen that in action. Yeah, good stuff.
OG CJ, this is an underrated one. Another one I remember watching on TV, but didn't get to go to in person because it was finals week. OG CJ says the Nebraska volleyball Final Four against Penn State. Penn State has it won, but they have a miscommunication in the front row. The ball drops. Nebraska comes back and ends up winning in 5 sets. Let's take a call here about the best games. We go to the Honda of Lincoln hotline. We welcome in Tom. Tom, how's it going today?
Great.
You got a game for us?
Two of them that I've been in-house as far as Husker football games go. This is in the late, probably middle 80s. It was going against number 4 was Oklahoma State, and the Huskers were ranked first or second. And I'll never forget because this was a blizzard, and it was a night game that started at 7. And the opening kickoff, Dana Brinson goes and takes it back 98 yards. And when a game is like that, and I'm telling you, nobody drank beer. That was all tequila and whiskey that night. It was just unbelievable, freezing cold. And just the way that whole crowd just stood up and rose and just pretty much fell on top of each other. Everybody was just laughing hysterically. And then we smoked them by 40, and we held Thurman Thomas to 4 yards total. That was the best Husker game. And then when I was a kid in 1975, I got to see Dr. J play live at McNichols Arena in Denver in the ABA when he was with the Nets going against Dan Issel and Alex English with the Denver Nuggets. That was just incredible to see the doctor play.
That's dope. Yeah, great stuff. Thank you for sharing, Tom. We appreciate you.
Good stuff there. Submissions rolling in here. Someone asks, what game was September 6th of 1986? That would be Florida State. Bobby Bowden coming up to Lincoln. Nebraska gets it done 34-17. Right before that really turned into that rivalry in the 90s.
What are some of your best March Madness moments?
I've only been
that you didn't have to be in the building. I mean, that you just happened to be watching, and you just were like, I gotta say the Leitner, everybody thought that he didn't get that shot off where they threw the full length, and it was to he catches it, and I think they beat UConn. I want to say
no, it was Kentucky.
It was Kentucky.
Yeah, in the Elite Eight.
Yes. Oh, that was absolutely crazy. That game was so back and forth. I think you look at that, maybe Mario Chalmers, a big shot he hit, it led on to a great career for him. I got to say Bryce Drew from Valparaiso and the run that they were making, some of the shots he had hit to take. There's some good ones in the March Madness that I've had a chance to. It just seems like the name comes to life
Mhm.
when you're getting to the
Every
year.
Every year.
Every year. It's
Mhm.
not. It just doesn't fail. It's
No.
gonna be something crazy.
Absolutely. Speaking of crazy, Husker football recruiting been popping off. Big weekend. We'd mentioned a commit at the top of the hour. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll have Brian Munson on the line. He'll break it down for us, give us some insight on the other side.
Need service on your home air conditioner? Call the company Lincoln has counted on since 1952. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Know what brand you have? When you serve experience for you, friendly Nate certified, the tools, training, and technology to restore your comfort quickly. No matter what brand, when you need service, just call Bryant. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this summer. Check out their new Keen and Tiva brand sandals for hiking and Olukai sandals for sitting by the pool. Plus, they're stocked up on Hey Dudes to catch you up on the latest shoe fashion. They also have shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrill, On, and more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Atrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66 and Q in Lincoln. Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, do it right. Apply today and learn more about their benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and our big summer sales event is underway this month. Right now, get 0.9% interest rates. Yes, you heard right. 0.9% APR on select new Chevrolet and GMC vehicles, plus a $1,500 trade-in bonus on select Silverados and Sierras. You put all that together with some big Koppel discounts, and you have a tremendous buying experience. So stop on into the dealership or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-9462.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. And Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Guys, it's that time again. Another 10-week challenge at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is starting on July 8th. I joined Farrell's a little over a year ago, and with their help, I've lost over 125 pounds and can confidently say I'm in the best shape of my life. The 10-week challenge combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching in a way that is approachable and achievable for any skill level. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off the cost of enrollment. Head to theticketfm.com and click on the banner on the homepage to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 70th and Vine or 40th and Yankee Hill.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join
Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Keep summer green with Judson Baleen and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a creepy summer job in Forget-em outfit long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Mostly sunny skies anticipated for today with an afternoon high of around 88. Northeast winds at around 10. Increasing cloud cover tonight, a low down to around 61. We will have a chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms for the first half of the day tomorrow, reaching up to a high of 88 once again. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Stricken on and the Ticket app.
We are back here on the block. Plenty to talk about here with our next guest. We go to the Allo VIP line. Welcome in one of our favorites, Mr. Brian Munson of Husker Online. Brian, long time no chat. How is it going?
It's okay. It's okay. I think I developed carpal tunnel over the last week and a half or so. But other than that, man, we're Nebraska recruiting is chugging right along. Got another commitment here in the last 20 minutes or so. So it's been fun to watch, and it's been really kind of interesting to watch the process that Matt Rule and his staff are using right now.
Let's talk about the process before we jump into that most recent commit. What stands out to you about the process that this coaching staff is using?
Well, if you kind of go back and you take a look at where Nebraska stood in the month of March, the month of April, there was basically this round of recruiting and the Brandon Bakers of the world and the Nate Frazier's and the really big time kind of recruits that came in. And I think that there were also the guys that were, a little bit lower than that obviously that weren't coming in as part of the spring game and the junior days, but they were obviously some guys that came in like first week in June. Like you take a look at like Peyton Morgan and a number of the other visitors that even like a Malika Squara that came through not just like more than a couple of weeks ago. But you get a chance to kind of like take a look at that first weekend, especially, where you got Dante Carter and like an Amari Sanders and a William Nettles. Nebraska started up that summer camp schedule, particularly when they were in Texas at Mary Hardin Baylor. And then they went on to Houston after that, to Houston Christian. They started making offers, particularly the guys in the secondary. And then when they got back to Lincoln that following weekend, you saw more offers. You saw offers to offensive linemen. You saw offers to into the secondary again. You saw guys getting offers that were underclassmen. You saw specialists getting offers like Camden Cook. And it was such an interesting thing to kind of see the board be very, very fluid in how Nebraska kind of was able to take that evaluation period data where they were talking to the coaches and looking at the huddle and maybe watching these guys like in a PE class or run track or a workout and make an offer or go check in on those guys. And then they had a chance to like host these other players and work with them, get a chance to test them firsthand, see how coachable they were, work them out at multiple positions, kind of get understanding about how they might fit into like whatever it is they're trying to do. You saw their board change essentially week by week, and these new offers, were really becoming then like the next guys. You saw like Landon Davidson and Jake Peters kind of jump in there from an offensive line perspective. you saw Callan Barta and Braylon Prudy, and there's other guys obviously too that I'm Donovan Jones even, from Omaha North who picked up an offer obviously following a camp, where the whole board just evolved. And it was really, I think, kind of this situation where I think that Matt Rule is paying more attention to the data that he is collecting versus the stuff that's being kind of sold to him through, highlight film and maybe just having a chance to kind of go see a guy work out. He really values that summer camp evaluation. And I think that's going to get more kids to come to workouts and camps in Nebraska going forward.
That absolutely should. And I think it's interesting too, Brian, from the outside to see Nebraska, extend offers to guys who either didn't have many or none at all, and not even a star ranking. Has Nebraska had a coaching staff that, has earned its players as many stars on the recruiting rankings as this current staff?
I don't think so. And in fact, I think that there's another adjustment coming up for like a Rex Guthrie, who is, probably the next commitment for Nebraska, honestly, out of Littleton, Colorado, has offers from Wyoming and from Nebraska, and kind of considering those two schools. But, you had Quinn Clark a day ago, didn't really have any stars. Nebraska has put these guys on the map and has caused, a lot of folks to kind of go out there and take a look at it from an evaluation and from a ranking service, kind of perspective. Donovan Jones, no different. Jake Peters fell into that. Callan Barta. These guys were all unrated at the time they picked up that Nebraska offer. And then things move very, very quickly through that. I think that's I think what you're finding there in that sense is that you have those national recruits, the guys that people know going back almost all the way to like their sophomore year. And, they kind of stay at the top of their game. They stay at the top of everybody's, their minds, and they're part of that 10%, of all the people they need to know about 2024. They're the ones that they've known about now for the last 2 years. Now all of a sudden you've got that next group, the guys that have developed, the guys that are been maybe behind some players, maybe they don't play in it as a populated area, Cedar Falls versus Mater Dei, Topeka, Kansas versus, South Beach, Florida. And you get those situations there, it's like where it's tough to kind of compare and contrast, and you get some guys that are just not in those overly populated areas. And I think that all of a sudden then a workout and almost like a kind of a character interview happens. And I think it really is one of those things I think Nebraska is very excited about, to have those kinds of players coming in that they're discovering and that fit what it is that they're looking for. They're really looking to upgrade the athletic profile of this team 100% top to bottom. And I mean, you look at a guy like Ernest Campbell that came in this weekend out of Texas, and a 10.22 100 meter in his film is just amazing. Not a big guy, 5'7.5", 150 pounds, but still the kind of guy that, if he gets loose, like, look out. And that's something obviously that Daniel Kalin was very excited about too. Like when it start talking about guys from Bellevue West and, the possibility that Carter Nelson could be joining the class too. So there's a lot of good things, a lot of momentum going right now around Nebraska football.
Well, that was one of the things I was going to ask about, the trifecta that, they were able to land out of Bellevue and what goes into that. But also, do you feel that it's kind of an updated version of the way that you build a strong Nebraska program with in-state, as well as making your brand sound palatable again to those outside?
Absolutely. I remember I had a conversation with Tim Carpenter back in February, and Tim and I graduated high school together. And we went back to like the summer camp days, and you had to go camp at Nebraska to pick up that offer from Tom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of one of those things that still is in use, at a lot of places like at LSU and Georgia, to kind of, you'll get the verbal, but in order to get the tangible, you've got to kind of be there. And I think that Nebraska, is able to kind of do a couple different things. I think with that whole process, I think number one, They get a chance to kind of get eyes on, they get a chance to really measure you. I mean, that's one of the things, like, I heard people complain about all spring and all summer. They couldn't believe how short they were when they went to Nebraska, because Nebraska was making those kids take their shoes off and testing them all barefoot. And, the guys that would come out of that situation looking really good were the ones that didn't fib on their numbers. But I think the other side of that too, Strick, is Nebraska develops an understanding about how much that player wants to catch the eye of Nebraska just by showing up. And I think it's one thing to get a phone call and for a kid to go, yeah, I'm interested in Nebraska, but then not get there, versus a kid that's off the radar, believes in themselves, like a Barta, like a Guthrie, like a Jake Peters, like a Landon Davidson, to where those guys show up, they show out, and then Nebraska is able to kind of quickly assess that they're as good, or if not better, than some of the other players that are on their board, and they want to be at Nebraska because they're there for the camp. And I think that's such a great way to kind of go about building this program, as you're getting that athletic profile that you want, because you're hand holding the test that you want to do, that you're judging the athleticism by. And now you can go ahead and take those numbers and directly go into it and say, look, I'm going to judge the results of this class, somewhere else down the line. But for the immediate future, at least right now, I can go ahead and say, we're not going to get beat because we're going to lose a race. We're going to be able to run that race and be competitive in that race because of the athletes we're going to have on the football field. And I really feel like Matt Rule feels great about just upgrading the athleticism across the board, even with the offensive linemen, like guys like Landon Davidson are even like running 100 meters and putting up good times. It's pretty fascinating to see like how the athletes are just being upgraded across the board.
Speaking of running the race, let's talk about running the race in state here. We'll get to Carter Nelson in a sec, but Strick brought up the 3 Bellevue West guys. Getting one of them would have been good for Nebraska. Getting 2 would have been cool. What does it mean, and what do you take away from Nebraska landing all 3 in Kalen, Hall, and McMorris, and how they went about making that happen?
It's huge. There wasn't a path for Kalen to even talk to Nebraska as long as Raiola was part of the picture, number one. Things had to go south and sideways, but I think even more than that too, Nebraska had created a second path, a back door back to Kalen, essentially. Like, if this, we got to go talk to this guy. We have to go talk to him, but what we want you to know is, like, we're going to come back to you, and we're hoping that you're receptive of this, but we want to establish a process. The minute that it happens, we're going to be at your door. And we're going to make it really, really, really tough for you to tell us no, and we're going to let you know very, very quickly and how serious we are about you. That was the quarterback. Now, McMorris and Hall, on the other hand, things were really touch and go, mainly with McMorris, but mainly go with Hall. Hall, I don't even, before like maybe 2 weeks ago, he hadn't even been to Lincoln. He hadn't even come down to meet Coach Rule. It's really been one of the more amazing things to see how, like, Coach McGuire and Coach Rule and Coach Satterfield had kind of turned that one around, because I really always felt like McMorris was possible and Hall was a long shot. And that really sucked to have to tell people that, because I think that they're such a great complementary, pair of wide receivers. McMorris is huge production. He has all the receptions and the yardage, and yeah, he scores his touchdowns, but Hall has that explosiveness and he has that speed. And I think that when I say that he has that speed, it's really hard to kind of sell that much more, because McMorris and Hall's track numbers were so very similar towards the end of the year, with running in that mid 10.6 range. That it really, that I think is the biggest part of this whole thing. I think you look at the production and what they were able to do with Keelan at Bellevue West. That's one thing. If you look at the strides that they made from their sophomore season to their junior season of track, both of those guys improved their 100-meter times by about 0.3 of a second. And I really think that spells big things for those guys if they keep working on that, because you know how big it was with Malachi Coleman. I think it's going to be one of those things that they can keep working on that, and just it's going to up that athletic profile again even more for Nebraska. But I honestly, I would never have bet 2 months ago, that all three of those guys were going to end up in the class. I never would have done it. And it's just pretty astounding what they were able to do with all three of those guys from West. That's a big story within the 2024 class.
A couple quick hitters then from Bellevue West to out West. Carter Nelson says he's announcing his commitment on Wednesday. Probable for Nebraska, possible, coin flip, long shot.
Very probable. I think Nebraska has done some good things there with Carter Nelson. I think that there has always been kind of a motivating factor to stay in state. I always think people were always really being misled about who the other major forces were with him. I think Penn State and Notre Dame really had a lot to lose with him. I felt like they were in great position with him. I thought the Georgia offer and the Alabama offer and even like Texas and Texas A&M were really going to catch his eye. And I think Georgia did. But I think when you get Riddell and you have a second tight end in the class a little bit, I think it gets sold to you a little bit differently than what you really want it to be. And I know where those guys are at and his family is at when it comes to, the Cornhuskers. So, and how many times he's been down to Lincoln and so forth. And I think Daniel Kaelin played a huge part, potentially in getting Carter Nelson to join him in the class. So Wednesday noon, I think I put an 80% prediction in for him, which is the highest I've ever done right off the bat for anybody. And that prediction was my first time ever on him. I've not flipped that at all. I've called my shot on him, and I think he's a Cornhusker on Wednesday.
Music to Husker fans' ears. And then the most recent, just not that long ago, Kawan Lacey out of Texas. You have a little write-up of him up on Husker Online. What Husker fans need to know about the newest running back commit?
I absolutely love Kawan Lacey. If you've not gone out and watched his huddle film, there's a little bit out there for everybody to really enjoy. He can run between the tackles. He can run the stretch play. He can get involved in the passing offense. He was really dinged up quite a bit last year, missed a couple, 3 games, played beat up after that. You got to really go back to like his sophomore season at Nolan Catholic, which is one of the top tap schools down here in Texas out in Fort Worth. I think he had 1,500 yards as a sophomore. He once he's like a train, man. Once he gets kind of rolling, he kind of gets stronger. There's some Marshawn Lynch in there. I think he runs really incredibly hard. I think he's got this kind of sneaky speed and straight line speed. He's able to bounce off of guys. He's got this bowling ball factor to kind of go along with the great hands. So you can put him out there as a wide receiver. I'm sure that Matt Rule and Satterfield and McGuire right now are sitting down thinking about the plays that they plan on running with Kawan Lacey in the offense.
That's awesome. He's Brian Munson of Husker Online with us here on the Allo VIP line. Brian, get some ice, get some heat, whatever it is you need. Keep cranking out the great work. We appreciate your time. Hope you can find some time to take a breath, and hopefully have some more good news to talk about with you next week.
Strict nose, man. I'm going in to get some treatment.
Hi. Love it. Thanks, Brian.
Later, guys.
There he is, Brian Munson, with the latest in Husker football recruiting. Good stuff from Brian, as always. Really appreciate it. We'll step aside. We'll hit up the crossover. DP and J in the house for Old School. We'll wrap up on the block next.
Beat the heat and make 4th of July truly monumental at Generation V.
Generation V.
This weekend only, Generation V has incredible deals that'll blow you away. Stock up on select disposables as low as $10 and enjoy 5% off pet products.
Generation V.
Live through 4th, experience monumental savings up to 33% off mods, e-liquid, Delta 8, and more. Generation V with 16 Nebraska locations and a new location at 27th and Superior. GenerationV.com. Vapes contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Keep summer green with Judson Bylene and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickly, cheapy summer job, install them and forget them outfit, long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works hard so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe, seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
There's never been a better time to earn more on your checking account. Open a free Kasasa Cash checking account with Liberty First Credit Union and earn up to 5.5% APY for up to $40,000. It's simple. Open your Kasasa Cash checking account online or stop into any of the 4 Lincoln locations or Seward and Omaha branches. Liberty First makes switching easy, and Kasasa checking is always free. See libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and our big summer sales event is underway this month. Right now, get 0.9% interest rates. Yes, you heard right. 0.9% APR on select new Chevrolet and GMC vehicles, plus a $1,500 trade-in bonus on select Silverados and Sierras. You put all that together with some big Koppel discounts, and you have a tremendous buying experience. So stop on into the dealership or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back in the future. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today. Located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
BJ, did you ever get a chance to meet Broderick Sandman Thomas? Yeah.
He had one year where he just went off.
Tampa?
Yeah, he had 174 tackles.
Wow.
And 11 sacks in 1991. 7 forced fumbles.
That's why, like when I asked Terrell, who's the best linebackers? I don't know if I've ever heard Broderick Thomas come out of Terrell's mouth. It's always same guys, Jay Foreman, Levant David, Barrett. But again, if you don't watch the tape, you don't know how good they were.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Turn that channel.
We are here on the block,
Hey, that thing went
crossing
right.
over, trying to figure out the layout we need here.
Right to
That's
House
what- there we
Hunters.
go.
Got to turn that to the House Hunters, HGTV.
The block
I'm
is
Austin
extra
D.
hot.
Strick, joined by Old School GP.
It's
and
always
Jay.
hot offline. The conversations that go on before the mic gets turned on is absolutely hilarious.
That's the ticket. That ticket VIP
Boy.
subscribe only 21 and
content,
over.
yeah. After hour content.
Yeah. Ticket after dark,
Speaking of tickets and VIPs, I meant to mention this at the end of last segment, but we have 4 tickets to tonight's Salt Dogs game and a parking pass for the first person in on the text line who can tell me how many signees from Texas Nebraska has in its recruiting class for 2024. Currently, Brian just mentioned it, so if you were listening, should be a layup. 402-464-5685 if you want to go in on that.
Are we accepting too damn many?
I think for the purpose of the giveaway, we need the concrete number.
Okay.
But for the topic of discussion, it can be that. Is that fair?
Okay. More than Nebraska. Is that correct answer?
Still so far, yes.
Things I need to know.
Just want to know.
I told you I was going to come in hot today. Jay, forgive me, but I need to.
You need to get some stuff off your shoulders.
I need to, as Mavis Staples said, express myself.
No, Mabel in NWA said that.
Yeah, let me say this. Listen. Everybody know, like I walk in the morning.
Mabel, that's old school.
I walk in the morning.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm cool. I got good tunes in my ear. Right. I'm feeling it's positive. When I say walk with me, it's just a good vibe, a good place to meet and connect. Right. Cool.
You expressing with your full capabilities.
Yeah. Here's the thing though.
Yeah.
So Saturday morning, I woke up and my hip was bothering me, my knee was bothering me. I was like, man, I'm getting old. But then it hit me. No, because Thursday morning on my walk, just crossing the street in downtown Lincoln, I had the walk sign, and a car made the turn, rolled up on me like I owed them money, and hit me in the hip. Now
did you go into correctional facilities?
Oh,
Some don't agree with how you do this.
I gathered myself. I'm old now, Jay.
Dang.
I don't have
somebody hit you, my boy.
I don't have the quickness that I used to have. I don't have the cat-like reflexes and response. But I still got enough game to get one foot up on the fender of the car. And then get my hip up onto the roof of the car, hood of the car.
You better than me.
Right. So my first response was check everything. Am I okay? Second of all,
the adrenaline kicked in.
What's the name of your new show that you do on Tuesday night with Cluster?
WTF.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. And then I changed the W from what to who. Who?
Right.
Who is out here being reckless on these streets of Lincoln, right?
Yeah.
So the first reaction, it was
get ready on the dump button because there might be some cursing.
No, I gave him one before. Be ready for the dump button because I might get in my feelings, right? My reaction was, I'm okay. So, Jay, let me ask you, in that situation where you have just been hit by a car and then you gather yourself and you feel like you're okay, what is your first reaction and response?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna get in their ass.
I'll go get up in it, right? Like
that's a good one.
I go to the front. I go to the driver. Now, his window was down. Notice I said was down until
you didn't go into correctional facilities though. So
was down until I get to the front of it. Like I get to the door, and I'm like, no. You didn't run over me. But you need to, as Jay Foreman would say, you need to come see me.
Right.
because you
Right.
did damage. This is a real thing.
Right.
Now I'm a grown up now. Young DP wouldn't have even. There would have been no conversation.
Yeah.
On site.
Y'all would have got the report.
Right.
Y'all, Jay, you need to handle.
And you're living in correctional facilities.
You need to handle-
Some don't agree with how you do this.
You need to handle this show today by yourself.
You got straight meditate like a Buddhist.
Because DP has lost it. Instead, grown-up DP let me stand at the dude's window and see him get small in his seat, in his driver's seat. And as he shrunk, I felt the hand of Jesus on my shoulder.
You calm down.
Because I was like,
meditate like a Buddhist. Yeah.
Woo-sa.
I told you, express yourself.
Woo-sa.
Yeah, that's tough.
Do it good.
Now I'm gonna put a pin there. We need to go to get the idea, but I'm gonna finish this story because it keeps getting better.
Oh my goodness.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Now, let me just say,
Your behavior is hereditary.
I look. I was so chill about it. I didn't even say nothing about it Thursday or Friday or Saturday. But Saturday, when I woke up and just felt my hip, I'm like, "What is going on?" That's age, and my brain was like, "No, let me take you back a couple of days, partner. We actually got into some business that you need to deal with." So I'm like, "Okay, you know what? I got through it. I did. I was the better human. I was the better human. I got through." Fast forward to this morning. Walking my walk.
Okay.
Minded my business.
Not the same person.
Not the same person. Same result.
Oh my God.
For this time. And again, there's a right turn that you can make.
Same spot?
But no. But same direction,
Okay.
same area.
God.
And I get the walk. It goes from don't walk to walk. And they're at a light. So you have a responsibility.
Yeah, to wait.
Except in my head, there's a small little mini me going, "Yo, D, remember the last time we was in this situation? They wasn't paying attention, and they got you." So I'm on P's and Q's.
What kind of car?
Cat-like red SUV.
Not an SUV.
And let me tell you, I'm looking at the driver. I'm looking at the driver because I need to make sure. Now, normally I wouldn't have to do that because I have the right of way. It says, "Hey, DP, it'll sign
your turn.
DP, let's get it. It's your time to go. It's your turn." Everybody else on notice. Nope. Grandma was up here. I don't know what she was doing. I don't know if she was in her phone looking for directions. She might have been. Hey, if you need to do that, turn the audio on so it tells you what to do instead of you looking down at your phone. Second of all, hey, listen, I'm a human being. I know I'm pretty easy to see, especially large brother
in red.
Wearing red. Guess what? Should be of some note and attention, except Grandma kept rolling. She kept rolling, and she rolled into the turn because cars don't turn unless you tell them to. That's an amazing thing. Cars don't turn unless you turn the wheel. And she rolled up on me. Now, this time, I actually thought, she ain't gonna hit me.
Oh, you better. I would have jumped all up on that thing. I would have been acting like I did.
No, it was like I literally was like,
I would have been like in a video.
Like
fell
I
off
thought,
that thing, rolled on the concrete.
I thought, she cannot do this. She will not do this. Except for she said, "Watch me, watch me, watch me, watch me," and rolled up. And I mean, she got
watch me.
She got a Mike Rozier stiff arm away from my hip.
Yeah.
And I mean, I hit the hood and pushed myself up so that if it hit me, at least I would bounce.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It would bounce because if she kept going, she'd got the knee and just rolled me up, right? So I Spider-Man land, right? Pause, hit the pose, right?
Yeah.
Hit the pose, like, ha, yeah, didn't get me, ha. Wait a minute, you hit me. I felt like Della Reese. Oh,
You want to hit me in my?
you want to hit me in my hip?
If y'all don't know what he's talking about, there's a classic movie called Harlem Nights, and there was a scene where that happened where he
What
said,
Dallas
you
say?
hit me in.
What Dallas say after that?
She said, "Oh, you want to hit me in my pinky toe?"
Now I'm gonna have to cut you. Jay, I gather myself, I get to the front, I get to the driver's seat, except for this is 75-year-old somebody's grandma.
Yeah.
I was just hoping you were
And
going to say it was your neighbors.
Oh, she is looking at me like this is the end. Because
like time is up.
This is what Mary Beth was telling me on
coffee.
2 weeks ago at coffee at Bingo.
They told me at church, like
Dorothy Lane.
like she told me at church.
She hit one, and she gone. I'm next.
She gone to heaven. She gone to heaven.
Here comes the big one.
But all I could hear was Richard Pryor going to jail. If you approach this woman, DP is going to jail.
No, you would have got ran over. That's going to be the reaction.
Right? Well, the other cars, like the car behind him, slapped the brakes. So immediately, this is a young cat who was about 25 who got out because his thing was, I cannot let this big dude kill this woman. Like, right? But then he got mad, like, wait a minute, you almost made me wreck, lady.
Right, yeah.
Right? So it hit him.
It would have been his fault.
And she got small in the seat, and I just went,
okay.
I need to
might
go.
Need to,
I need to
find
go
a different route, brother.
They might need to go a different route.
I don't know, but this is it. I change up my routes. I change up my routes.
So one of the other stations that we're gonna put out, they got to you got to hit out on you.
Right?
You need prayer, my boy.
Hey, they got to hit out on them.
I really like
other stations right now.
Hey.
Other stations out there. They looking to hit up DP.
Hey, it's like Russian. The Russians.
All the stations. They trying to
get it right.
They own you, DP.
75.
They know your route.
75-year-old hit woman got you.
Oh, like right? Like
not sending their best yet.
What's the movie with Cuba Gooding Jr. and Helen? Who's the senior actor from the British?
Mirren.
Yeah, Helen Mirren, where she plays a hitman, a hit woman. That's what I felt.
Oh, that's called something red.
Yeah,
something.
just red.
Yeah,
red.
Yeah, they're gonna mess around.
Malkovich is in it.
Walk by and put something in his coffee or something.
Yeah, like I'm just like now I gotta watch. Like
you gotta be on point.
I gotta go low.
Like Wedding Crashers, put it.
Or a Shadow Boxer.
Shadow Boxer, yeah. And, I mean, amazing flick, by the way. But yeah, so and then I had meetings, went to a couple of meetings, again, more really cool stuff going on. And most people know I put down negative things pretty quickly, right? But I'm like, okay, but this is not negative. This is just me with a lesson that really on my walk. It reminds me that I'm
be aware.
Like when I walk, I literally, like if there's a car in the vicinity, I let it go first.
Right, yeah.
Wave them on, like, give them a smile, wave them on. Nope, go ahead. I got ain't that big a deal. That road gonna be there as soon as I get there anyway, so I'm cool with it. But I got back, went to the meetings, good stuff happened, got blessings. I was like, man, yeah, cool. This was a great day. Got to the station, sat down in the office, got some work done, and then tried to get up. And Jay, I sounded like my grandfather. I made that granddaddy noise. Remember when you was young and you hear him try to get up from the real sofa, from his couch,
from the squat down,
chair, from his chair that he had been sitting there Sunday watching 3 hours of football and didn't move.
It's been caved in.
And then you have to get up. I made that noise. And
you got to rock yourself up. Like
that back rock.
Oh, like I had to feel myself a little bit. I was like, oh man. So then I got to call Becky, right? Because I'm like, listen, while I remember to tell you, in case some stuff go left,
right?
It wasn't.
Apparently, this year's going right, not going left.
Right. But it wasn't an accident. I just want to say that publicly.
Right.
That if you ever hear the DP had an accident, it's a lie. Yeah. It is an absolute lie.
Somebody trying to come take you out, my brother.
Man, look.
They said, listen, they got a list. Let's get the one person that don't look like a hit person. The 75-year-old grandma. Hey, call her. Hey, you still working?
You still working? Right. She's like, I was on vacation. I was in Grand Island. I was in Grand Island, but I could drive to Lincoln for you.
You still got that? You still got that shot out there shooting with a slingshot?
No, I was just like, but I'm like, man, what? Like the like I often joke that I have so many what are the odds moments in my life. Like I accumulate them. I'm a magnet for them, and it's just the way it exists. But this one, I was like, 2 in a week.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't even been a week. It's been 5 days.
Right.
Like, I'm just going, okay. So, I'm just saying to my doctor, if you ask me if I'm still walking, the answer is no. I'm gonna walk downstairs in my little gym on my 2 machines where if something go wrong, it's really just me.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Well, so yeah, Jay, it's been that kind of day, bro.
We're glad you made it, DP. You're here. We appreciate that.
They just
Survivor.
hey, listen, man. They had a big recruiting weekend. They trying to get you, see if you got any eligibility, work on your short shuttle and your short area quick to see if you can
first.
Hey, you're gonna have to address this on the text line. They going in right now. They got questions. The text line is on fire.
I got answers. That's what I do.
So we got story time with DP. Anything else on the show?
It was a big recruiting weekend. Got an announcement on Wednesday. Things are going good down there. And then obviously you got CWS. I've never seen 24 runs in a game.
Boy. Nobody has the CWS.
Hey,
That's a record, Jay Foreman.
Hey, my man they were uppercutting that ball. That one that went way up in there. I mean, he's like,
51
he tried to hit
degrees.
that thing to outer space.
He tried to go talk to the space station.
Yeah, man. He's going to outer space. So CWS and hey, there's some Dame Dillard news too, man. Things are happening.
Yeah.
Things are happening.
Good.
That they are. He's Eric Strickland. I'm Moss Norman. Old school DP and J comes your way in just a sec.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info, or call 402-467-1627.
Sunday morning. It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I love my ring.